Welcome to Subramani. Going a little away from dividends and value, I'm going to talk to you about some of the wealth creation tricks which many people miss, and because of this, you end up not making as much money and almost getting to the poorhouse because of poor financial actions that you take. So first one is breaking or stopping the SIP. Starting early is a very important thing in compounding. So Morgan Housel gives these examples of Warren Buffett. If Warren Buffett had started at the age of 25 instead of starting at the age of 11, you are talking of missing 14 years of compounding. He would have ended up to be a very rich man, but definitely not the richest man in the world, right? He would have maybe, I think the figure that Morgan gave was about $12 million. Yes, that's good money, but nowhere near the billions that he has got now. That is the power of compounding. Now, one important thing in the power of compounding is to continue the power of compounding and not to interrupt it. Now, if you have been lucky enough, smart enough, or pushed hard enough, and you started an SIP at the age of 21 or 22, and then you just stopped it at the age of 24, because the guy who came to fill up the form filled up only for 2 years, right? If you had filled up a form for perpetuity with a rising 10% contribution every year, you would have still been continuing at your age of 45, and that money would have been much more than perhaps even your provident fund, right? But you just filled the wrong form, you signed at the wrong place, and sorry to say, but if you had started at 12 or 15, I'm sorry, if you had started at 22 or 23, the rising option was not available in SIP, so it's just hypothetical, but today it is available, so go and take it. Similarly, when somebody tells you that a share is let's say somebody comes and tells you that Kajaria Ceramics is a good buy at 350. You bought 100 shares at 350, and then you didn't buy anything more. Then it went to 400, 500, 600, and everybody came and told you at 600 that Kajaria Ceramic is a good buy. You say, oh, I already have. How much do you have? You have just 100 shares. When somebody tells you to eat food, you don't say, I ate yesterday. You eat whenever you are hungry. So whenever you have money, if you have identified a good share, you might keep buying it again and again. And if you think suddenly it is overpriced, you may sell at least a part of it, right? So buying the same share again should not it should not be a taboo. You say, oh, I already have 100 Titan, I already have 100 Kajaria Ceramic, I already have 100 Coromandel International. You don't say that, right? When you are hungry, you eat food. Maybe you eat the same food. At home, you eat the same dull, boring food, but you never say, no, I want, of course you may crave for some variety, but you still eat more or less the same food. 70% of your food is same over the years, and you don't get bored doing that, right? So similarly, you can keep buying the same share again and again and build a decent portfolio. Not having an emergency fund is one of the stupidest reasons to interrupt the compounding, and this is done very commonly. And people are very emotional. They'll say, oh, what do you think is more important, my mother's health or my portfolio? Idiot, it is not your mother's health that I'm talking about. It is talking about taking adequate medical insurance and keeping enough money in the bank to be able to pay the bills like the ones which COVID is running up. There are many families I know where I've seen the bills at 30 lakhs and 35 lakhs per person. If there are 2 people, then that's 70 lakhs gone. If you don't have medical insurance for 70 lakhs, which very few of us do, I personally don't even recommend that you hold that much, then you have to have liquid enough money to be able to pay the bills, right? So that is one reason why not having an emergency fund is a reason, but not everybody will have it. So hopefully you have it. Then selling off, the worst things that I've seen is to stop a mutual fund SIP, withdraw that money and invest in a ULIP. ULIP is not a very bad product now, but it is only for those people who know how to re-engineer it, find out the cost, see whether it is worthwhile at 5,000 a month or should the minimum premium be 50,000 a month. If you do not break up into all those things, then ULIP is bad. ULIP is good for the guy who is high on IQ and alert to all the changes that keep happening. If you are not going to do that, be very careful. Don't invest in a ULIP. I am talking of investing in a ULIP only if you understand the re-engineering costs, right? One very important tool positively for wealth creation is having your internal scorecard more stronger than your external scorecard. Of course, I'm borrowing these words from Warren Buffett, and to say that I know what I am doing is good for me, my family, and the people around me. It is not illegal, it is not immoral, it's not illegal, it's not immoral, and be very clear and focused in what you're doing. As long as you do that, you should not be too much worried about what others think. So your external scorecard might require a bigger house, a flashier house, a Ferrari and things like that, but your internal scorecard might say, I could take an Ola or a Uber. I don't need maybe I need a car, but I don't need a Ferrari. A Ferrari is not transport, it is a statement saying, look, I have arrived, right? The other thing is markets can move up much faster and higher than you have patience, right? Market can do things which you do not like. I know of people, including fund managers, who keep saying that Reliance is not a good buy. Great, but when you have evidence being thrown at your face that there are so many people investing internationally, and now whole of US seems to be searching on Google to see who is this company in which a couple of our fans have invested, and suddenly you find a lot of interest in Reliance, which was not there earlier. Maybe it is getting re-rated from being an oil and gas company and a 8 PE to a more technology and retail led company for a PE of say 15. You never know what is happening. So will it get a PE of 15 for the whole business? Maybe no, but maybe it will get a PE of 30 for its technology business, 20 for its retail business, and 5 for its oil business. So what are we buying? Be careful about all those things, right? And the market can be irrationally low for a very long time also. So on the optimism side and on the pessimism side, it is you to take a neutral stand and make sure that you don't get carried away either way. These are all necessary to know what are the tricks that you are missing. Thank you.